So, for the past few weeks, I've been talking about how attachment styles might be impacting our leadership styles. And today, I want to specifically talk about what it looks like to lead with an anxious attachment style through the lens of one of TV's most chaotic bosses, Michael Scott from the US version of The Office. Michael is the perfect example of an insecure, anxious leader. And why is that? Because he, one, craves validation from his employees and his bosses. Two, he avoids conflict, even when leadership calls for tough decisions. Three, he doesn't take responsibility for his own mistakes. And there are even times when he throws his team members under the bus rather than taking responsibility himself. And fourth, he takes everything way too personally. Just think about all the times he believed Toby was targeting him rather than simply doing his job. And here's the thing, this type of behavior seriously impacts a team, right? First, they feel uncertain. One day, Michael's their boss, the next day, he's trying to be their best friend, and they're never quite sure who they're going to get. Second, his team struggles with direction and prioritization because he's not setting clear expectations for them. And third, you often see signs of exhaustion as his employees are trying to manage his emotions rather than managing their own work. So, how can you avoid leading like Michael Scott? First, it's really important to recognize that it's possible to be kind and friendly to your team while at the same time having clear expectations and accountability. Leaders need courage to do hard things, such as giving that clear direction and feedback and not enabling poor performance. And you can do this while also being compassionate and fun. Second, learn to manage your own emotions. Practice emotional regulation strategies so that you manage your emotions well and avoid creating chaos in the workplace. And third, work on building your own sense of security. Your worth as a leader isn't tied to constant validation from others. So we can probably all agree that Michael Scott is hilarious, but his leadership, not so much. If you want to lead with confidence instead of insecurity, work on becoming more aware of how your anxious attachment patterns might be sabotaging your leadership potential.